Okay, guys, I'm finally back. Sorry I couldn't do that video last week. I got what was probably like a spider bite. My finger isn't as purple anymore. It isn't as swollen. It's still a little shiny. It got huge just overnight. I ended up having to get in the bath for about an hour, draining it. Made me feel like crap. It was kind of ridiculous. It was hot to the touch. Pretty sure I got bit by a spider, and I really couldn't. Not only was I having a hard time gripping anything, it made me feel like crap. So I really just didn't do the video last week. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I sculpt these thumbs with the X-Acto blade, basically after it's dried with the milliput. It's pretty simple. You just lightly scrape. You don't want to really push too hard. If you do, even though I did super glue this down, as you guys remember on the base, it will like pull it off of the staple that's in there for support. You just want to kind of just like gently pull it off, and you will see that it is taking milliput off. I mean, it's pretty simple. You want to try to get like the best shape that you can for it while you're doing it. It's hard really to get it too thin. I mean, I guess you could just sit here and do it and do it and do it forever, but it's going to kind of pull off. You want to just get like the best shape you can. The insides are like, what I try to do is like almost put like a little cleft right here, like almost a cut, and then pull up. That's usually what I do with most of the thumbs, and it tends to make them look better. I do have some thumbs that look really good, or I think look at least pretty dang good for what I did, and I have some that just look horrendous. Especially like my first ones. I think the first two came out looking very crab-like. Sorry about that focus, guys. It's kind of hard to... I was actually looking at my actual hand, what I'm doing, not at the camera. But it's interesting doing it off the camera while you're working. Even though it's right in front of you, it's hard to do. It's strange. There we go. I'll try to keep everything in focus. It's really simple. This one was in, I did a really good base design, basically. It wasn't crabby. It wasn't anything. It went on really easy. I was really happy about that last week. Sometimes I have a real hard time with these. I've had it where it was like this, where it took 2 minutes to slap on, and I've literally had like an hour where it's just the milliput isn't working. Sometimes I think I mix too much. I mean, I always do. You always mix too much if you're doing just like one like this, like I showed you guys. But like I've done 10 at a time, and you still got to just make more than you need, just because it's just the way it mixes. And before, when I was doing these, I didn't make smaller balls like I do now, which makes it dry quicker. You need it to dry a little bit to really work with it. It's not wet or anything, but it's just really pliable when you first mix it. You got to wait at least like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the size of the ball. And once you do that, it's much easier to work with. And I didn't know that when I first started working with it. But it's all trial and error with this stuff. So like I said, the first 2 thumbs that I did were very, very crab-like. But I don't mind. They were just, you know, whatever. I learned. Moved on, made it better. This one's turning out really good. I'm not going to have to do too much work. I'm just showing you guys how I basically do this. It's real simple with this. You don't have to do too much shaping, basically. You just need the basic shape when you're putting this on. When I do this method, I've seen where people do a lot of the sculpting while it's still wet. I tend to like to just scrape it off and sculpt it that way. I find it way easier working with that milliput this way, because I'm not the greatest sculptor when it's wet like that, but I do pretty good when I'm shaving it like this. I can make it basically do what I want. It just takes a little bit of time. And you just, like I said, you can see it's just slowly taking off little bits by little bits. And eventually it'll, while I'm doing this, I don't do it too long, but it'll completely smooth it out too. So when you apply the paint, it'll look decent. You don't have to like sand it or anything when you're doing this with the what do you call it? X-Acto knife. Basically, it ends up being pretty smooth when it's all said and done. Let's see where we're at. I do like to make like that little cleft in there. I don't know why. I think it looks better for the thumb. If you're repairing it, you might as well just do it that way. And as you can see, that's basically it. I don't want to sit here for like the next 20 minutes just scraping for you guys in there, but I was just showing you like the technique and method that I basically use to do these thumbs. I'm going to finish scraping off the little bit more. I'll probably only spend probably like 5 more minutes on this, it looks like, and it'll be completely smoothed out. And then in the next video, I'll show you guys the paint and the brush process of trying to match skin tones to these skin tones. It's much easier to just do browner, tanner type that I've noticed than I'm trying to get white. It's really hard because this is even peach. It's some weird white. And I tend to have to usually like mix these three to try to get as close as I can to something like that. But close as it is, it's good with me. So I'm going to finish this up off camera real quick. And I'll come back in a little bit and show you guys the paint process and how I try to mix these and make that work. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in a little bit.